So you find yourself struggling with guilt and you wonder, how do I step outside of this pattern of relating that I understand, but I'm getting stuck in it. So guilt is only helpful for brief moments to shift the trajectory of your behaviors. So once you're relying on guilt for the long term, it's now no longer served its purpose. It's kind of like addiction. Maybe you start off having a drink here or there to take the edge off, but once you're drinking not a flask, probably you're drinking more than that. Once you're drinking a liter a day, it's now no longer serving its purpose and we need to regroup. So with looking at guilt, you need to consider, why do I rely so heavily on this? And what you'll likely find is that you weren't taught that people make mistakes. What you were taught is that when people make mistakes, they're no longer worthy of love. So this is where grace becomes really important. So grace, from a kind of just word perspective, is this idea that there is this higher power that has a level of forgiveness and warmth towards you. Now, one of the things I really appreciate about Christianity is it offers two faces of one God. The Old Testament God is a very specific presentation of wrath, destruction, and punishment. And then the New Testament God with Jesus is a perspective of love and forgiveness. Now, from our side, we need to identify which version of God is most helpful for our psychology. So, if you're a person that's generally unruly and needs a little bit of swatting to stay on task, that would be your presentation of God that you would like. If you're finding yourself, though, being riddled with guilt and shame, you might need to switch to the New Testament and start to relate to this other face of the same being and figure out which one works better for me. And it might be a balance of both. Maybe there's times when you know that you're up to no good because you like to do that from time to time, and you need a little bit of force. But when you find yourself in a shame spiral, you need a little grace. And we have to decide how to relate that way, because we have the options available, but sometimes we're not picking the best option for our circumstances.